When Joe was little, you know, first he was like a little skinny little surfer boy. Always liked to be outside, playing outside. He loved to be outside. To get him in the house, it was hard.
He was a happy-go-lucky little kid, always smiling. He was like my little best friend.
He never showed any signs of trouble at all that we would have upon, you know, later on in life with him.
I knew he had a drug-related problem. I didn't know how bad it was, but it was terrible. He got worse and worse, and to the point where I couldn't stand him anymore. I didn't want him under my house. I didn't like him here. I didn't trust him. He wasn't my son. I don't know who he was. He was the devil, really. That's the best way to describe him. He was overpowered by a demon, by this drug.
You want to spend 3 to 7 years in jail, Joe, or you want to go to rehab for a year? What do you think sounds better, Joe?
And on fentanyl, he was pretty out of it. His body would get so relaxed that he looked like he was dead. You know, he would lay back and his mouth would just drop open, and it's harrowing to watch your son go through this.
Joey! Joe, let's go. Joe! Joe!
It was really hard, but like I didn't want to leave him. So I just couldn't, like, you know, get my ground. I want to make sure he was okay too.
I've overdosed twice. The first time it had to be fentanyl. The second time I overdosed was straight fentanyl. All I remember was putting on the radio to listen to music and have a butt. And then boom, I woke up in the ambulance. My aspirations were to start a family and everything. I mean, that's what I was thinking about, but it didn't happen. Drugs got in the way. I just started doing Percocets every day. I progressed from doing Percocets every day to doing dope every day. I mean, I knew fentanyl was in it. I knew it was cut with it. I started knowing when it was totally fentanyl, and my buddy told me it's just fentanyl. And I only went to him because it was more powerful and you get more bang for your buck.
It's pretty scary because most people don't see what I see every day. I manage a crematory in downtown Manchester. And the fentanyl, I noticed a lot, the overdoses were coming more quicker. There was a lot more of them. Instead of getting 1 a week, I could get 3 a week. And a lot of times when I went and picked these bodies up, I wasn't sure if I was gonna go out and find my son.
So we would park here a lot of times at night. I would be parked here till after midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. We came down here to watch for him, to see if we saw him sitting on the sidewalk in a stupor, or just walking down the street in a daze. And there were times that we did. Sometimes he would see us and he would give us a signal like, stay back. Other times he didn't see us at all. And we would be like chasing after him. It got worse as time went on. We tried many different things with him. We kicked him out to give him the tough love because people said, give him tough love, kick him out. We kicked him out. That made it worse. He got into trouble.
I was sleeping at the trap house. Trap house is where you can get anything you want. There's multiple dealers in there. I got arrested once for crack possession, once for attempted burglary, and that was in the same day. And I also slept in the cemetery. Behind a mausoleum.
Probably one of the hardest things I ever did to throw one of my own children out of my house that I always had a shelter for him, because you didn't know what he was doing out there. He didn't dare come back here. because he knew he'd be arrested. And I told him, you come back here and I'll call the police, you'll be arrested. I don't want you under here. You get better and they'll be fine. If you want help, we'll get you help. If you go back down there and keep doing that dope, you're gonna die. I said, so it's up to you.
Good thing I have the business card. I forgot the lady's name I'm meeting.
Are we meeting someone else?
A new person now? His wife and I are trying to, you know, basically if he went to a halfway house, they would be doing the same thing. You need to get a job, you need to make phone calls, you need to be more responsible. It's time to basically change your ways. And is it tough? Yes. It's very tough. And he has told me that every day is a challenge for him.
An addict alone isn't its worst company, so it's like my mind is racing constantly, so I have to figure out stuff to do to keep my mind busy. There's a lot of demons in my head, you know, and it's like constant battle. I feel like there's like a war zone going on, psychological warfare at its best.
This time seems definitely different this time with his attitude and the way he's actually like stuck with things. Kind of is just like routine is different. It's better than the last time when he came out of our rehab. He went right back to it.
I write music. I listen to music. It's more of like a way for me to get away from the world. I mean, I hate the world the way it is, so I write about it.
On a path that I'm not even knowing, 'cause I feel like I dream better ways. I know that I seen better days. Something tells me to just keep on going down a path that I'm not even knowing, 'cause I feel like I dream better ways. I know that I seen better days. Something tells me to just keep on going.
IOP is an intensive outpatient program. It's Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 8 to 11. On Friday, my mom, you know, she has off, so she takes me and lets my wife sleep in because my wife, she works like crazy hours. So I wish I could just walk, but she doesn't like me to walk. She knows how I am. She knows that I'll just go right off track.
7:56. You got 4 minutes. I'm basically just trying to support him to stay strong, and love him. I will always stand by him, and try to help him, you know, stay strong for himself and fight this addiction. I will always support him, you know, and remind him of things he should do and shouldn't do. No, you need to do it.
They should have done it.
I know, but it's your responsibility to make it, and you need to make it.
Okay, and they didn't have it on their schedule, so.
Well, then you need to talk to them and
I
tell them
did.
that.
I need to do 2 though.
Yeah, you do.
I love you.
All right, I love you.
I'm vulnerable. I feel about my situation right now. I feel like I'm vulnerable. I mean, 60 days, I'm still new to it all. That challenge of not going and hanging out with people that I used to hang out with, it's like maybe like 3-4 times a day. And I'm up from 8 in the morning until anywhere 10, 11 at night. 3-4 times a day, I want to go down there, yeah.
Shame is a huge part of addiction for the families, because with shame, you don't want people to know because people do look down on you. I didn't let my family, my sisters know for a long time, and one of my sisters said, God, I wish you let me know, I would have helped you. I've borrowed money from them. Joey has borrowed money from them. He pawned everything he could get his hands on, basically. And Cash for Gold is where he pawned my wedding band set 3 times because he told us that he owed people money. And the last time that he pawned it, I didn't have my rings back for a whole year. I thought that they lived on... We didn't have food. We were ashamed. You know, we didn't want anyone to know our story.
Every day he would go to his mother's work. She'd give him money and more money and more money, and he had more lies. She cried to me one day and she says, I've given him everything. She said, all my credit cards are maxed and they want their money. I said, how much do you need and how much have you given him? Because she kept it from me. She lied to me. My wife lied to me first time. So then I knew there was a real problem. My wife never lied to me. And she didn't want to tell me because I screamed. I said, don't give him any money. You understand? I used to scream every day. Don't give him any money. You call me. You tell me, I'll take care of it. But they gave him the money until it was all gone.
Sometimes you and I are running scared through this life when we have no reason to be. When you have Jesus, you have everything that you need. Amen?
What I did to my family has been the hardest
This week I
dealing with.
sought out a book.
Just because they're still there. And it's like, why?
You ever been there?
How are you still proud that I'm your son? How are you still proud to say I'm your husband?
You and I have a hurt world all around us looking for encouragement. Our neighbors are desperate to see us apply real love to real needs of real people in the real world.
He is starting to come back to us. I see a lot of the old Joe, a lot of the younger Joe in him, where he likes to laugh a lot now.
I think something clicked. Maybe that switch went on in his head, and maybe he wants to change. Maybe he saw the light. Maybe somebody came down. Maybe I don't know. But right today, my son is back again.
This is me. This is who I am. This is who I want to be. I think I can do it. I feel like I can do it. I'm not going to say that I got this. It's the worst saying you can say. You never got it.